Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Thursday, the 22nd of October. So yesterday in the US, we see stocks chop on stimulus slop, Bitcoin jumps and dollar dumps. Meanwhile, here in the UK, the spending review U-turn as pandemic pushes debt to 103% of GDP. Nothing like Japan, where it's 200+% of GDP, as long as you can continue to print the money to pay the interest on the debt, which we can here, thankfully, in one way. Whereas in Europe, you have to go cap in hand to the ECB. So be glad that we don't have the euro. Also, the UK rating has been downgraded again amid growth concerns. Well, you don't need a degree, do you, in this one to figure out what's going on? You have to look at the World Economic Forum to see and get a good idea of what's happening. So let's go to yesterday and see what happened. Let me just wind back here. So the market in the pre-market just after 7 a.m. Traded down to the DP. You can see this cluster of volume here as they bought into the market to send prices back to the upside, and there you'll see them moving up. And then as we just get towards the 8 o'clock open, we have this big spike here. Already screaming there's some selling in the market just at this point. The futures market moved up, and then the selling hits. And then as soon as the market opens, we get a sell signal. I'll just wind this back a bit. Obviously, I'm doing this in larger chunks. It wasn't this fast. And unfortunately, we've got the 200 MA there in the way, and also the DP. But the momentum was with the sell signal as prices went through all the way through the first target price scalp as well, straight down to the DP level. And at this point, I've moved the stop to break even. I want to have a look, see if the market will hold at this level first, and then if it does, then I'll take avoiding action, because we've got the buying to the left here. But as you will be aware, prices continue to move lower. We had a green bar here where we saw some buying pressure coming into the market, but prices didn't close back above the 5-bar moving average or the BRN, and we had a second one of profit taking here too. So now I was using the 5-bar moving average to measure the market's momentum as we've broken the main area here, the DP. This sends it to the short side, and then down here we've got the low as the next target. And of course, we all know that they like to keep prices above the low where possible. So now we see some profit taking at this BRN. Again, you can see this with the green bar, shorts covering, and interestingly enough, I expected to get a bounce off this bar because, again, the volume very high, prices coming off the low, but failing again to hold at the BRN and the 5-bar moving average, staying above, and then prices trading sideways there. Again, hits the BRN, comes down to the low. Now it gets interesting. You'll see the volume starting to increase. Again, notice how prices come off the low. The volume is high. So I was also, again, expecting to see a close above the 5-bar moving average at this point, but we didn't get it. I'm going to look at the 5-minute chart there. Then I come back to here. And in this bar, which is really interesting, because if you look at this one and this one, there is a 1-point difference between prices. And this first bar, there is 369 ticks in volume. And this one was a massive increase of up to 424. So immediately I could see that there was some buying pressure coming into the market watching this. And at this point, I decide to take the trade off the table because we're still at this low. They want market back above the low. They'll do anything they can to get above the low. So prices then, again, you'll see the green bar testing now at this level as well. Not only that, but you've got a fib retracement. And then prices move back to the upside. They trade to the 20-bar moving average. We then see some selling coming into the market. Not as high as I would like, but prices are struggling here. They do close above the 20-bar moving average, but a narrow bar, same volume as the previous selling bar. Prices then close back below the BRN, and we get another sell signal. Now this one was an interesting one, because as you'll see in a moment, the area over here is crucial, and we've also got the low. So it was more of a punt here, but having already made over 100 points on the trade, it was worth risking 24 points. But the market did go down, it broke the low, and what I did here, move the stop to break even ASAP because of this here, just in case it sprung back on some buying, and I thought it was going to, as again you see it come off the low there, close off the low, but tucked below the previous between the previous day's low. So it came off the low of the price bar back to the low of the previous day there, and then prices moved lower, and I drew this extension in off this one because this is where we had the 425 volume, and then prices continued to move lower. And at this point, fortunately for me, I could see the volume building, and you'll see why in a moment when I say fortunately for me. I decided to get out of the trade, and it's a good job because as Tuesday, my internet connection stopped working. If I just move this back to here, you will see all of a sudden the chart stopped updating, checked Forex Factory, site can't be reached. And then I had a look out the window, and up the road I can see the Virgin van again. So just about to go and have a look back in the box and get it sorted, but unfortunately it didn't come back on for quite some time. I got a connection back just as we saw this volume coming into here, as we broke below the S2, and it's past 10 o'clock, and then the market moving higher. But look at this for an indication that there was some buying coming in, the size of the bar as well at the BRN. They want the market back at the low no matter what, and you'll see all the way through the morning, all the way to the afternoon session, the market trading up to the low, where look what you get here. You see this little bar, massive volume compared to the previous bar. So we've got some selling at the low as well. Mission accomplished, and prices then drifting back down 50 or 60 points. News there, whatever it was, didn't really have much of an impact, and then we got into the afternoon session as prices are once again brought back. Again, they want the prices back above the low. They've got to take out the 200 MA in order to do this. So prices open, and we see a lot of buying in this first bar as prices are supported, with buying New York also moving higher. We had a bit of selling pressure there, which again you can see because you've got the volume greater than the previous buying bar, and then some selling following through as well. This is then soon absorbed, and you see the buying coming in the green bar. We close above the 200 MA with further buying, and then prices are driven higher and trade up towards, with some potential weakness in between, sitting on the BRN there. You can see it all the way across here, desperate to hold in this area, as you've got all of this potential weakness, which you can see in the red volume, and eventually prices trade up towards the 200, up towards the low, and then trade sideways. We did have some red MDI there as the market then reverses and trades in a range back to the MDI, back through, and then moves lower as prices come back through the 200 MA there. As the US then again, the stimulus package between Republicans and the Democrats once again fails, and there you can see some buying coming in just at this level down towards the BRN there. So that took us to the close of Wednesday's session. So let's have a look at a few other things. We've got the implied volatility, interestingly enough, came down yesterday, and that's because of the recovery in the US after the initial move to the downside. In fact, the European markets, obviously because of the threat of no Brexit deal and other uncertainties, moving the European markets a lot faster and lower, which is unusual, whereas the US is treading water, ready for the US election results. But we're still on amber as far as the implied volatility is concerned. So let's have a look overnight, see where we are. We'll start off with the Dow, as this one's here. You can see we're down at the 20 bar moving average. We have consecutive days of lower highs below the 5 bar moving average and sitting on that 20 bar, as I say, at the moment. So a bit of weakness there for the US. And then, of course, yesterday's session in the US, you can see why the DAX moved back up to the low, because the Dow shot up 200 points actually from this blue to this blue. And then, of course, it sailed south in the afternoon. And then, obviously, that was some sort of news there that moved the market straight up, straight down, back to the support here. And then it managed to recover a bit into the end of the session there, and then of course weakened once more, which we can see there. So let's have a look at the DAX, which is also following suit. Start with the daily chart, and let's just put a few fibs on here. I've cleared everything out because I need to come over to here, up to here, to draw in and see where we are. So I'm just going to get rid of these because we've already traded through the 38, 50, 62 and 78. This area is going to be crucial, as is this low here. This low is taken out, then we can expect prices to attempt a run across to this low over here. So let's just mark this one in as well whilst we're here. So there we go, and let's just save this, so just in case we have another down day, we can make note of these and see if the market trades down to them. I mean, you can see once we got through this one yesterday, our prices continued lower. So overnight, let's just drag back and see where we are. We can see there was selling overnight. The market, again, putting in a cluster of overnight buying to support the market here. We're already below the DP level, which we'll see in just a moment. Our price is trading back to the 200 at the moment, and obviously going to be keen to get back to yesterday's low as well. So let's just have a look, see where we are. There's the DP. So below we've just got the S1, S2 and the S3, which will be another 100 points lower as well. So I think that's it, apart from what news we've got today. Let's have a quick look. We've got Bailey speaking at 10:25, and then we've got the weekly US jobless claims, and 3 p.m. we've got the CB leading index. Okay, that should do it for this one. Let's hope we get the same level of volatility this morning as we did yesterday. It was really good, and with a bit of luck, my internet connection will actually stay up and running as well. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.